I wish I had a sword, because if I had a sword, all I'd have to do is take my shirt off, and then I'd look exactly like Conan.
Exactly. I'm Paul.
I'm Steve.
And this is Check Your Shelf.
Somebody on Eve said Cimmerian.
Oh, yeah.
No, Cimmerian.
Yeah.
It's like, dude. Here in the waning days of Cimmerian September, the event inspired by everyone's favorite booktuber, Michael K. Vaughan, we come to one of Robert E. Howard's most celebrated yarns, the 1933 short story, Tower of the Elephant.
Yes, absolutely one of his best.
I can't do this without a teleprompter.
Hey.
I need it. Oh, I could put my phone. That would be great. It'd be like having a teleprompter. Anyway.
Teleprompter? I hardly knew the prompter.
The reason we're doing this one, well, there's a couple of reasons. One, Cimmerian September. Come on. Right? And this is Conan the Cimmerian, not Conan the Barbarian. He's from, Samaria.
Yep.
And
some area.
Some area. Conan from some area. The some area in some Aryan. Wait, no, these days that's not funny.
No.
The reason we picked this one is we had run out of ones that Paul suggested. Paul's been trying to get me to read a Conan story forever. And I had trouble getting into, there was a Conan the Barbarian novel or something.
Yeah.
And I struggled to get into it years ago. So we're doing Robert E. Howard. I'm falling in love with Robert E. Howard because you so cleverly introduced me to Robert E. Howard using stories you knew I would like.
That's all part of my diabolical plan.
So we had run out of suggestions, and then I had heard Paul and Tim talking about Tower of the Elephant. So I was like, I want to read a Conan story. I know there are Conan short stories. They said something about Tower of the Elephant. Why not read Tower of the Elephant? It's only like 30, 40 pages.
Yep.
And as it turns out, it's one of Robert E. Howard's best known Conan stories, most celebrated Conan stories.
For a good reason.
And yeah, spoiler alert, it was great. I liked it a lot. It does so for those of you unfamiliar, first of all, what have you been doing with your life? I mean, I can't imagine making it this far in life and not having read The Tower of the Elephant.
Right?
But come on. He teams up with this guy named Taurus, who's also known as the Prince of Thieves. He's apparently like the best thief. And they team up to steal, because at this point Conan's a thief. He's not yet the barbarian, the warrior. He's he's not a king. He's a thief from Samaria, which nobody's ever heard of. And he's in the land of Zamora during the hyperbolic age. No, Hyborian. Did I say that right? Hyborian? Hyborian age, which is a fictional age where there's magic and stuff.
If you say it's fictional.
That's what Wikipedia said. I don't know.
Oh, well, all right.
Maybe Wikipedia is fictional. Yeah, so they find out about this jewel in this tower, this jewel-encrusted tower, and they team up to go steal this thing. And there's magic. There's this magic sorcerer who's supposedly guarding the place. It's good. It's a good story, man. But like I said, Conan's not yet the Conan that we know from the movie, right?
Right.
He hasn't yet. I mean, he probably has already pushed that, whatever that thing is.
The Wheel of Pain.
The Wheel of Pain. He's probably already pushed that because Robert E. Howard can't get enough of describing his chiseled muscles. I mean, he is just like, I'm like,
yep.
Is this romantic-y? And Robert E. I don't know. I was wondering how far he was going to take it. He's like, and his muscles were chiseled and the sweat was gleaming off the muscles. And have I talked about his muscles enough yet?
Right. The thing is, when you said you were going to read Tower of the Elephant, and I went ahead and reread it so we could play along. And I'm like, man, I tell you what, if like the first page doesn't hook you, you're never going to finish it. There's something about I've said this before, but there's something about the way this man wrote stuff.
Yeah.
Where he wrote it, they always say, show, don't tell.
Mm-hmm.
But what he would do is he would make you feel.
Oh yeah.
Like you got he pulls on your like imaginary emotional level or whatever to get you to just like to soak you with the some of the ways that he describes things in the mall,
The mall,
just,
MAUL. I was like, that's
yes.
pretty funny. The mall.
It's just so like
he uses all the senses. He doesn't just say, "Here's what you see," right?
Yes.
He says, "Here's what you see. Here's what you feel. Here's what you smell.
Yep.
Here's what you hear."
And it pulls you in emotionally, I feel.
It pulled me in emotionally because I was like, I think he's describing Bourbon Street in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's like the sounds of giggling women and, there's a fight off in the corner. It smells like old stale beer, and it's like people are fighting over there. And I'm like, that is exactly what Bourbon Street's like. And I almost would say on Mardi Gras, but not even just on Mardi Gras, any random, Tuesday night. It's like that.
And like I said, he doesn't let up from the beginning to the end. That feel of rawness goes all the way through. For stories that he'd pad these out, so because you got paid by the word back then, and it wasn't a lot, but he would pad these stories out, but they sure don't seem like it. His 30-page yarn goes down in like a half an hour. You're burning through it so fast.
I don't know how it didn't feel like there was any padding because the way he does it, I think, is he doesn't just over describe something. For example, he said crooked streets. He took 2 words to describe something. I had to stop and think about it for half an hour because I was like, oh, crooked streets. I know what that feels like, Yeah, I know
it looks
what
like
walking down.
German expressionism, in the movies.
And so he didn't do it by adding words he didn't need. As we've said, he was he's a purveyor of fine words. He uses only as many words as he needs and not one extra word.
Yeah.
If he does any padding, he would add just another thing. Like it's like, did he have to fight the guy in the bar? Maybe he didn't have to fight the guy in the bar, but it told you. It showed you, it didn't tell you, it showed you who this Conan character is. We just met him. We're just a few pages into the story. We have no idea who he is. This was written in 1933, one of his earlier Conan stories, I imagine. Yeah. So the readers didn't really know who is Conan, right?
And when you're writing a serialized character, you have to do that. I mean, he did it with Solomon Kane every single time. Within the first page, you pretty much knew who Kane was, so he's not going to just not have Conan beat the crap out of somebody in the first page, Yeah. You need to know who you're dealing with.
Speaking of him walking into that bar, first of all, the outside, the city of Arengen, however you pronounce it, reminded me of New Orleans. The bar reminded me of every saloon in Westerns when the nameless drifter gunslinger walks into the saloon and there's like obviously working women cutting up with the guys, and there's the drunks, and there's a card game going, and the only thing I was missing was somebody sitting at a piano with one of those armband things on, just playing the piano.
Instead it's like dancing girls with like the tambourine kind of slightly Middle Eastern music going in the background for some reason. Yeah.
And once again, you can smell the words coming off the page.
Well, and when you're talking about another thing I've always said is like the man, like he would tell his stories as he was writing them. And if you get a chance to find a good audio version of this and listen to it, you can tell these stories are even better heard than read.
Mm.
I feel,
Yeah. Yeah, and he overhears these guys talking about this tower, right? And everybody can see the tower because it's up on a hill. It's this tall thing. It was like the cooling tower in Michigan City at NIPSCO. You can see it from everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm a thief. Think that's something I might like to try to steal." And they'll laugh at him. They're like, "Are you kidding? Don't you think there's nothing but thieves here?
It's a city of thieves.
It's a city full of thieves. It's lawless, right? Don't you think we would have already robbed the place if it was possible?" He's like, I haven't tried yet. But he was able to pick up some intelligence that way. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go do it. And then just the way, the description of him going, and he hears, there's these monks or whatever praying and stuff. And just, you find out more about him as he's walking. Like, it's just great because it wasn't like, okay, now that we've introduced the story, let me tell you about Conan. No.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep showing you stuff about him while he's walking. He did that thing that you learn when people talk about writing fiction or screenplays or whatever. Like speaking of Law and Order, which we were earlier, the screenwriters said that they used to, like, if this cop needed to get to the other side of the room for the action to work the way it was supposed to, right? They need to go from this side of the room to that side of the room. They would have people get in his way on his way over there.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did that person get in the, it's like the dude's loading the truck while they're trying to question them about a murder in which they may be a suspect. It's like, hey man, if I stopped loading this truck every time somebody suspected me of murder and was trying to question me about it, this truck would never get loaded, right? Well, the reason they do that is it's busy work, it's obstacles, it's action.
Yeah.
You're learning stuff, but there's still action going on, right? And that's what Robert E. Howard does. He keeps the action moving, to your point. One thing I did not understand though. So, and this could have used a little padding when he hops the first gate. So there's two gates, two concentric gates around this tower. He hops the first one and sees this dude there, like this other dude, this Taurus, Prince of Thieves over there. And he hops the fence, and it's sort of like oh, this is embarrassing. There was a movie where two gangs were trying to rob a bank at the same time. They're like, wait, we were here first, right? And I was like, wait, where did this Taurus guy come from? And they just explain, oh, he just happens to be trying to rob the place too. And then he's like, you want to team up? And he's like, yeah, sure, let's team up. To me, I could have used a little more like, why? Why did this guy happen to be there at the same time? And then why did Conan just go, okay, And I was suspecting, because I'm so jaded with everything these days, and this is what every single screenwriter would have done these days, is he would have been double crossed. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't read this one yet, read it, then come back. We'll wait. Okay, that was fast. Jeez, you guys read fast.
I mean, our viewers are nothing if not fast readers.
That's a good point. The dude doesn't double cross him or anything. I figured he would. I thought he would end up being Yara or whatever. Yara's the sorcerer who,
Yeah. Or at least, like you said, try to double cross him in some way.
Yeah.
That and who knows, he may have down the line, because no honor among thieves and that kind of thing. And you expect him like when they finally get to the tower. Yeah. Like maybe he's gonna like do something to, basically trap Conan so he can get away or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I thought. So when he did go in the room, the chamber, where Yag Kosha or yoga is, I thought that was it. That's the last we've seen of him. Yeah. Like he would look over the tower wall and see Taurus just beating feet across. He's just like carrying like this jewel. I got the jewel.
Yep.
And then Conan would be
would make it a
lesson learned.
That would make it a Clark Ashton Smith story, which we'll get to him one of these days.
But by the way, they to even get to this point, this Taurus dude used lotus powder to probably kill. No, to put these lions to sleep, because he did say we better hurry. They're going to wake up at some point. I think. Did he kill the lions? Now I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. What matters is we got to get our hands on some lotus powder.
Man, if we can put down a lion.
Oh, yeah. And again, he uses the smell thing because, Conan talks about, or the narrator talks about the smell of that stuff. So anyway, they get in this chamber. There's I think it was the spider from Lord of the Rings.
Shelob or whatever.
Dang it, Frodo. That hobbit ain't right.
Yeah, and there's part of that Chekhov's everything, because when Conan sees the wounds that on Taurus, he likens them to the blow darts that he used on the lions.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, Conan. I love the scene where Conan fights the spider. He uses agility and cunning to defeat the spider. And
as one does.
And then we're almost to the part. Like, this is a total dungeon crawl, right?
It is an absolute, like what I told Tim when we were talking to him. Tower of the Elephant is an absolute 5-room dungeon, which, if you guys know what a 5-room dungeon is, you can sound off down below and let me know if I'm right or wrong on that.
Oh, but I just counted all 5 of them in my head. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's right there. It had to have been hugely influential. Like if you look in the I don't know where I put it. If you look in the DM's guide, Dungeon Master's guide for their Appendix N, Conan's Robert E. Howard and Conan is one of the first ones on the list.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what story in general or whether they just did it as a whole. But Tower of the Elephant and 2 of his other stories are absolute dungeon crawls.
I would have been a much better D&D player, and going forward, I will be a much better D&D player. Because I always got a little freaked out every time I encounter something. I get a little scared, right?
I've noticed.
So
yeah.
I always either I want to look at everything in this room before I do anything, or anytime there's another character, I don't care if it's a monster, person, I don't care what it is. My first instinct is attack it, right? So 2 things would have happened. So the 5, in case you're like, well, what were the 5 rooms of the dungeon? Well, it's the opening scene in the bar. That's obviously which has an easy character to kill, an easy monster. It's some fat drunk old dude, some fat drunk, I don't know if he was old, but some fat drunk thief, easy to kill. And then there's the outer, you get to decide. See, I would have attacked Taurus. I would not have teamed up with him. That's your second room there. And then I would have had to figure out how to kill these lions, probably would have gotten killed by the lions, because Taurus helps you kill the lions. Then there's the chamber with the spider, which, by the way, attacking would have been the right thing to do.
In that case, yeah.
In that case. But I don't know about the dodging. There would have been a lot of rolling to keep from getting captured by the web, obviously. Yeah. And then the next room of the dungeon is the chamber where Yag Kosha, or Yara, is being kept. And I would have attacked him immediately. I would have not have been like, oh, what's your story? What's up with you? I would have been like, all right, roll for initiative, right? But he turns out it was pretty awesome. For those of you that know who Yag Kosha or Yoga is, I've done that a few times now. And the original title for this, the working title for this, was not Tower of the Elephant. It was Tower of Yag Kosha or Yara or Yoga. Yag Kosha or Yoga. I totally messed up that joke. And I'm not going to retry it. It'll just be however it is. My point being, I can't figure. First of all, Yag Kosha, this is this being which has an elephant's head, hence Tower of the Elephant. It's got an elephant's head, but it's bound and being tortured, right? It's from the planet Yag, wherever that is, right? Somewhere on the edge of the universe. And its name is Yag Kosha. So I was like, oh, it's like if my name were Earth Steve.
You will henceforth be known as Earth Steve.
Earth Steve. But I don't know where the yoga comes in. Yogah. And why he keeps saying it.
just something to make him sound otherworldly, I feel.
I just feel like Bobby Howie should have picked a name, and he's like, he's like sitting around. He's like, "Honey, which name do you like, Yag Kosha or Yoga?" And she's like, "I don't know, just pick one, Bobby." And he's like, "I'll just put them both in."
That's right.
Or it was an early draft, and he was like, "Okay, I know it's either going to be Yag Kosha or Yoga. I'll just put both, and then I'll just remember to come back and delete one of them."
It's like,
He forgot.
you can call me Yag, and you
can call me Kosha, but you doesn't have to call me. So yeah, he's being tortured. This was awesome. This is very Lovecraftian, right?
Yeah.
This is the Lovecraft lore influence.
Yep. This is one of Howard's attempts at deep time.
Yeah.
You know, the
deep time. I love that phrase.
The Hyborian age was like pre like Ice Age.
Antediluvian.
Yeah. Whereas this dude comes from a time almost before time, and you get the lore of the Earth and up to this point. And yeah, deep time. I saw that in a Lovecraft documentary, and I'm like,
deep
yeah,
time.
That's exactly what it is.
You know, and from At the Mountains of Madness, where you find out, these aliens. We call them aliens, but they've been here long enough. Maybe it's their Earth now. But yeah, the Yagans came here because they were kind of forced out by another, even more powerful creature, I guess, or being, and they're magical. They have we call it magic. It's just that maybe they have advanced science, or maybe they're a being who just lives on a different plane, different dimension. They live apparently forever, and they were able to watch humans evolve from whatever we were before. And it's just awesome because deep time, right? They've watched this evolution. But so this Yag Kosha guy took on an apprentice named Yara and taught him everything he knows. So and then it's sort of like Worm Tongue and the king, the Rohan king, the king of the Rohirrim. He corrupts and then eventually imprisons him. So Yara now has Yag Kosha imprisoned.
Picture of your boy.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I saw that when I was looking up pictures, and that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool. Yeah, so that was cool. But I would have attacked Yag Kosha or Yoga right away, which would have done two things. One, I probably would have lost, so I might have died. But in the off chance I would win against him, now I would have no way to kill Yara because he had the secret to killing Yara.
And that's part of what, getting back to the dungeon thing, that's part of the dungeon crawl idea.
Yeah.
Is there's usually a way around the what we call the final boss. There's you can find help. You don't have to fight the final boss by yourself.
Yeah.
And had you just ran into the room, saw the elephant dude, and just, you probably would have lost easily to the sorcerer.
Oh yeah. And then I would have been like, this was a stupid dungeon. There was no way to win. And you'd be like, well, there was.
There was.
Until you just went hell bent for leather, just swinging your sword. Violence is not always the answer. It's not always the first. It shouldn't always be the first option. Well, that just it just shows the wisdom of Conan, right? He's has wisdom. He knew he could trust Taurus, and he needed Taurus. And then he was like, well, before I just start swinging my sword, let me talk to this elephant head guy. And he had a way to kill, not only kill Yara, but free himself from this eternal torture.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Arnold movie borrowed from this story a little bit, because the thieves that break into the tall tower I'm like 97% positive that was influenced by this story.
Oh yeah, the heart of the elephant. I thought that was really cool. The heart of the elephant is the jewel that everybody was talking about.
Yeah.
Dude just like impales the elephant. Told him to do it.
Yeah.
He impales the elephant, pours the elephant's blood onto the thing, and the blood just kind of soaks into the jewel. Yeah. And now you can see Yag Kosha in the jewel. He's like, all right.
And of course he tells Conan, he's like, well, you're not going to be killing me. He's like, what you think
Conan's
of as
like,
life.
Are you sure? And
Well,
then
you'll be doing us a favor.
Then, in one of the best scenes that's been often copied, especially in like gangster movies or lone hero trying to avenge the death of his family or whatever. This has often been copied. Conan walks into the fifth and final room of the dungeon, and there's just like a card table sitting in the middle of this room. Mm-hmm. And there's Yara on a swivel chair on the other side, and he just slowly spins around and goes, "What took you so long?
That's right.
I've been expecting you."
Yeah.
And then he said, "You think you can kill me?" Okay, none of that happened, but he does go into that room, and he's got the thing, the whatever, and that does the heavy lifting for him.
Yes.
And
I just love the way, because when the sorcerer stands up, he's like huge.
Yeah.
And then he just starts to shrink and shrink.
Yeah.
After a little bitty dude running around the table,
he's running
Conan
around the table.
Like,
that was hilarious. I wonder if Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, that little kid that was on TV and he got shrunk down. Wonder if they stole from that. No, you will not kill me. I am
just puts a glass over him,
Yeah, he puts a glass over him, then he goes and gets a postcard, tries to slide it under there, takes him outside.
Takes him to the window.
I don't like to kill sorcerers. I don't want them in my house. I don't really like to kill them.
I think of sorcerers like kitchen help. They're important, but I don't want to see them do their job.
Exactly. Okay, so they make quick work of him, but then he's got to get out of there because the tower's going to collapse. And now Conan, for all of his trouble, he has his sword and he has his loincloth. I like to believe in the next installment in the series, Conan does go back and picks up, because this thing was encrusted in jewels.
Yeah.
And now there's just there, right? And before all the other thieves get there and start loading up their bags, I hope he got his fill.
The story ends like all good Italian cinema. Just stops. As soon as the plot is made, stops.
Yep.
So then my question is, on a scale of 4 and 2 and 3 and 1, how do you rate Tower of the Elephant?
I give it a 3.5.
That's solid.
Yeah, solid 3.5. And I think I always think if I don't give it a 4, I at least got to say, what would have made it a 4. I think the final boss battle was a little bit anticlimactic because while it was funny that this dude like shrank down, like Conan didn't really have to do any of the heavy lifting. He was just demonstrating his cleverness and using what was available to him, but he didn't have to fight. It would have been neat to see a final fight.
Or like if he would have had to, at the end, all the guards are dead because they all have that hive mind thing that all fight his way supervillains have. Yeah. If he'd had to maybe fight his way out of there,
Yeah.
With maybe like a couple of jewels stuffed in his loincloth,
Got a couple of jewels in there. Sumerian September, man. I think we've got, what do we got? One more. We got one more, and it's a shelfie. Yep. But this has been a blast. I have really, thank you to everyone's favorite booktuber, Michael K. Vaughn, for coming up with this, because I really had fun. I didn't know how much I remember early in this channel, you talked a lot about Robert E. Howard, and now I know why.
Yeah. It just took me a little while to get you into it. That's all. All right, well, that's going to close the cover on this episode of Return to the Son of the Show. I mean, check yourself.
I mean, the importance of being earnest. I mean, better off dad. Hey, while we're at it, and while you're at it, if you're commenting's awesome. I've loved commenting. I've been commenting on people's live videos because that's fun. I sometimes make a fool of myself. But seriously, if you're watching, hit that like button, subscribe, because it really helps. It helps the algorithm introduce us to other people who may enjoy. Comment below, and if you comment and you have a YouTube channel, say something about your YouTube channel so people can pop over to yours. That helps too. That'll help you. That'll help us. But yeah, we want to reach as many people as find this interesting.
All right. Well, that having been said, I'm Paul.
I'm Steve.
And the next time you're looking for something to read,
check your shelf. That was a sword.
You get to run the show for Tower of the Elephant, because I will continuously call it The God in the Bowl.
The God in the Bowl.
Which is it's a totally different story to this one. It's like CSI Conan.
And then watched CSI. I guess I missed out.
No, you didn't. My ex-wife watched all that stuff. The only one I ever watched was SVU because Mariska Hargitay. So that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
That's all you need to say about that.